Baina TV, connected to your world.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Baina Midday News, coming to you live from our news hub, Atomic Junction, Benab House, Accra. My name is Fauzia Abdullah. Coming up this afternoon, Lands and Natural Resources Ministry launches formal investigation into operations of Health Goldfields Limited following allegations of regulatory breaches. Also coming up, fire engulfs portions of Kwapon Nursing Training College as video shows student nurses struggling to salvage their belongings. More on this development as preliminary investigations show that China City Mall in Kumasi lacks safety equipment to have control to fire that engulfed the facility last Thursday. And on the international front, protests erupt as opposition was barred from Tanzania's election. These and many more stories coming up in the next few minutes. Do stay. You're welcome back and thank you for staying. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Baina TV. Now to our very first story. Fire has ravaged sections of the Kwapon Nursing Training College in the Esunafo South District of the Ahafo region. Students were seen fleeing to safety as personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service battled to contain the blaze. The cause of the fire remains unknown, but officials say investigations are underway to determine what sparked the incident. No casualties have been recorded, though the extent of damage to property is yet to be established. The outbreak caused panic among students and staff, triggering an emergency response from local security and fire authorities. In a related development, the Ghana National Fire Service has disclosed that the China City Mall in Kumasi, which was gutted by fire on Thursday, October 30th, lacked key fire safety installations, including a hydrant and a mechanized borehole that could have helped contain the blaze. According to the head of Public Relations, Divisional Officer Desmond E. Aka, the absence of these critical facilities allowed the fire to spread rapidly.
According to the head of Public Relations, Divisional Officer 2 Desmond E. Aka, although the mall had been in operation for only 6 months, Management was yet to meet all safety requirements, including the provision of a reliable water supply system for fire emergencies. Mr. Aka stressed that the inferno could have been brought under control much earlier if the necessary water system had been in place. He also expressed concerns over sections of the public who interfered with firefighting operations, warning that such actions could hamper emergency response efforts. He emphasized the need for stricter enforcement of fire safety regulations and increased public education on emergency protocols. The fire, which razed the China City Mall at Santase in Kumasi, destroyed goods and property worth millions of cedis. Thick plumes of smokes were visible from several kilometers away as firefighters battled to douse the flames. Authority confirmed that, although the building was completely destroyed, no casualties were recorded.
Now, away from that, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources have launched a formal investigation into the operations of Heath Goldfield Limited following media reports alleging serious regulatory breaches, financial misrepresentation, and questionable mining practices at the Bogoso Prestea mine in the Western region. According to a report by the Herald on Monday, October 27, 2025, Heath Goldfield Limited, whose board includes former Finance Minister Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, is accused of engaging in illegal mining activities resembling galamsey and issuing misleading claims that about a purported of $75 million investment and project progress at the mine.
In response to the expose, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, has constituted a 5-member ministerial committee to visit the site and assess the company's financial and technical capacity to operate. Heath Goldfields Limited was established during the tenure of Samuel Abdullahi Jinapor as Minister for Lands and Natural Resources under the Akufo-Addo administration. Its operations have long been marred in controversies, especially amid a looming $1 billion arbitration case against Ghana in Europe. The committee, chaired by the minister's chief advisor, Professor Jerry S.Y. Kuma, also includes Mr. A.A. Amwa, a mining executive, Ransford Sechi, former EPA director, Obriye Boachumesi, former chief inspector of mines, and Jonathan, a financial officer from the Damang mine. The team has 3 days to submit its findings, but is reportedly concerned about the absence of a valid mining lease and other key documents required for Heath Goldfields operations. Meanwhile, the Minerals Commission has come under scrutiny over alleged conflict of interest, which claims that it acted as both interim operator and regulator, potentially undermining its neutrality in the matter.
Now, moving on further, the Majority Chief Whip, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamekpo, has blamed some committee chairpersons for the persistently low attendance of members of Parliament during preliminary sessions. According to him, certain committee heads deliberately schedule meetings at the same time the House is sitting, preventing MPs from being present for parliamentary business and often making it difficult to attain quorum.
Roxanne Dafiamekpo's comments follow a recent attendance report that reveals several MPs had been absent from sitting without permission. The report, covering 43 sittings between January and March 2025, showed that some lawmakers missed over 20 sittings during the period. Raising the issue on the floor of Parliament, he expressed frustration over the continued disregard for agreed meeting schedules despite repeated reminders. He cited the day's order paper, which listed several committee meetings scheduled for the afternoon, calling it a violation of prior agreements. Mr. Dafiamekpo urged committee chairpersons to respect the agreed timetable to promote full participation and ensure the smooth running of parliamentary proceedings.
Now, Mr. Speaker, having said this, I believe that yesterday you had cause to encourage members to attend upon the House at 2 p.m. Speaker, before we adjourn, the records will bear me out that I drew the attention of leadership of committees. Speaker, we have discovered that leaders of committees are arranging committee business in the afternoon. when we have all agreed that committee businesses should be arranged in the morning, so that when it is 2 p.m., we'll be ready to conduct business at plenary. Speaker, today's order paper again shows that there are advertised meetings of committees for the afternoon, when we had encouraged them that they should shift the afternoon sittings of committees to the morning, so that in the afternoon we'll have adequate numbers at plenary. So, Speaker, we implore leaders of committees, chairmen and ranking members, that they should arrange committee businesses from about 9 a.m. up to about midday, so that by 1 p.m. we'll be ready to start business at 2 p.m. We are depleted because of the
Meanwhile, Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, has been appointed to the Inter-Parliamentary Union Task Force on the peaceful resolution of the war in Ukraine. The appointment, announced by the IPU President, recognizes Speaker Bagbin's integrity, neutrality and his proven capacity to build trust among parties in conflict.
Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin joined 7 other distinguished parliamentarians representing the 6 geographical groups of the IPU. In a letter confirming the appointment, IPU Secretary General Martins Congo expressed confidence in Bagbin's leadership, noting that his experience will enhance the work and impact of the task force in its mission to support diplomatic efforts in seeking a peaceful resolution to the war in Ukraine. Formed in March 2022, the IPU task force serves as platform for dialogues between Ukraine and Russia lawmakers. It has since held over 13 meetings, including missions to Kyiv and Moscow, and convenes biannually during IPU assemblies. Speaker Bagbin, an experienced international peace negotiator, will take part in the hearings, engage Ukraine and Russia delegations, and meet with government leadership from both countries. His participation is expected to bolster the task force work in fostering dialogues and advancing peace efforts. The appointment highlights Ghana's growing role in global diplomacy and its continued commitment to international peace building.
You're still watching Baina Midday News. We'll be back shortly with more stories after this break. To stay.
Many things Muhammad brought Islam. In reality, Muhammad came as a reformer. Before the advent of Muhammad, all the messengers, including Jesus Christ, Habakkuk, Moses, were Muslims. We will be quoting from the Bible and the Quran to let you understand that they were practicing Islam before the advent of Muhammad. Join our team, the Critical Thinkers Dawah, as we throw light on these facts about Islam.
My Journey to Islam, Fridays at 4 p.m. only on Baina TV. In a world hungry for meaning comes a stage unlike any other. 14 voices, 14 visions, one mission to inspire true talent rooted in truth.
In the nights where no one hears my whispers, Allah does. A direct relationship with Him feels like melting in His arms. No shame, no confusion, no barriers, just love.
From Quran to creativity, from knowledge to performance. They will compete not just to impress, but to awaken hearts.
The Prophet ﷺ is speaking to you. He says that verily you have to hold on to my amana.
Why do people engage in illegal mining? The answer is very simple: quick money. The youth out there are jobless and therefore see illegal mining as a way to escape poverty.
I am Hamida Hussein. I am a wife, a mother, a teacher, a student, and a Muslimah. And I'm not yet done.
Every child, especially the girl child, should be given that opportunity to seek both Islamic and secular education.
They will be mentored by scholars, artists, and visionaries. But in the end, only one will rise. This fall, the world will witness the power of faith, art, and passion combined. This is the Show. Showing Fridays at 8 p.m. only on Baina TV.
You're welcome back and thank you for staying. If you just tuned in, you're watching Baina Midday News and we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Baina TV. Now let's delve into the world of business. Ghanaians and foreigners who traveled outside Ghana spent an estimated 3.4 billion Ghana cedis in 2023, according to new data from the Ghana Statistical Service. The figures are contained in the latest domestic and outbound tourism survey, which tracked travel patterns and spending habits across all 16 regions.
The report reported 393,305 outbound overnight trips, with women slightly outnumbering men, 200,320 trips compared to their male counterparts. Visiting friends and relatives was the most common reason for travel, accounting for 40.6% of overnight visits. This was followed by sporting events, business and professional engagements, and funerals. The Greater Accra region recorded the highest number of outbound overnight visitors, between 30,000 and 50,000 trips across all quarters, followed by the Ashanti region, driven by its strong economy and diaspora ties. The survey further revealed that self-arranged tours dominated outbound overnight trips, accounting for over 90% of total travel. Government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu explained that this shows a clear preference for independent travel over packaged or agency-organized trips, adding that the same trend applies to same-day outbound visits. In terms of transportation, road travel was the main mode, ranging from 63.5% in the first quarter to 74.8% in the fourth quarter. Air travel, though less common, maintained a consistent share, especially for longer journeys beyond West Africa. He emphasized that this highlights how land connectivity remains crucial to Ghana's tourism and mobility landscape. On destinations, West Africa accounted for the majority of outbound overnight trips, peaking 73,069 in the first quarter. The report added that regional mobility within ECOWAS remains dominant, though smaller numbers of travelers journeyed to Europe, North America, and Asia for business, education, and family reasons. For accommodation, non-commercial lodging, such as staying with friends and relatives, remained the most common choice, ranging from 71.5% in the first quarter to 84.1% in the fourth, far exceeding commercial options like hotels and guest houses.
And in some news beyond our borders, what was meant to be a peaceful democratic exercise in Tanzania last Wednesday quickly spiraled into chaos. As citizens turned out to vote, protests broke out in Dar es Salaam and several major cities after leading opposition candidates were disqualified from the presidential race. My colleague Fatima Malinke has more in the following report.
Angry crowds clashed with police, triggering a nationwide curfew and the deployment of the military. Reports of looting, vandalism, and deadly confrontation flooded social media, while authorities restricted internet access and disrupted phone networks. Vote counting is still ongoing, but early figures from state media indicate President Samia Suluhu Hassan holds a commanding lead. The European Parliament has denounced the polls as neither free nor fair, describing them as a fraud unfolding for months. Observers warn that Tanzania, once viewed as a pillar of peace in the region, is edging toward authoritarian rules unless sweeping political and constitutional reforms are enacted.
And in the world of sports, the government of Ghana has reaffirmed its commitment to resolving the persistent financial difficulties confronting national teams and other sporting disciplines through the creation of a national sports fund. The proposed sports fund bill aims to establish a sustainable pool of resources to support sports infrastructure, capacity building, and athlete welfare across the country.
Minister for Communications Felix Kwasi said work is ongoing to finalize a draft bill, which will soon be presented to Parliament for consideration. He explained that the initiative is designed to mobilize significant financial resources to enhance sports development, stressing that Ghana cannot expect global-level performance without adequate investment. A draft of the proposal shared by Mr. Kwasi on October 10, 2025 highlights 14 potential funding sources, including parliamentary allocations, sports lotteries, sponsorships, grants and taxes from sports betting companies. Additional inflows are expected from gate proceeds, athlete transfer fees, both local and international, sponsorship deals, international federation support, and a percentage of revenues from competitions and commercial sports vendors. International federation.
Now this brings us to the end of today's news bulletin, but before I take a leave of you, let's recap today's major stories. Lands and Natural Resources Ministry launches formal investigations into operations of Heath Goldfields following allegations of regulatory breaches. We also told you about the fire incident. You are not speaking, you are not communicating. We also told you about the fire incident that engulfed portions of Kwapo Nursing Training College as video showed student nurses struggling to salvage their belongings. And on the international front, protests erupt after opposition was barred from Tanzania's election. You can also visit our website at www.bainamultimedia.com for more stories. My name is Fauzia Abdallah. Do have a good afternoon.